Very good morning, everyone. We are back again with the series of informative sessions with our most respected Swami Lakshminarayanji. Thank you for joining us today for the webinar on the topic Science of Action. It's my honor to introduce Swami Lakshminarayanji, our host and guest speaker from the Vedanta Academy. Lakshminarayanji is a senior disciple of Swami Parthasarathy. Ji organizes public lectures and seminars on various topics related to the philosophy of Vedanta. For the first 30 to 40 minutes, Swamiji will share his wisdom on the topic, and the next 20 minutes have been kept for a question and answer session with the audience. If you have any questions during the session, please mention them in the chat window, and your questions will be answered during the question and answer session by Swamiji. Your mic will be on mute during the entire session. You will be only allowed to talk during the question and answer session. Over to you, Swamiji.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So today we thought we will discuss, because after a long gap we are coming together for these kind of sessions. So we thought we will take up first with the topic action. Now the whole world is kind of moving towards 4 days a week kind of schedule. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear
Yes,
you.
Swamiji, we are able to hear you.
So slowly,
Yeah,
people were working 6 days a week, and then they made it 5 days a week, and then now the thought that people are contemplating is to have 4 days a week working days and then 3 days off. That's the kind of idea that everybody is developing. In fact, there is this concept, there is this thought, and even a restaurant called "Thank God It's Friday." Yeah? So a lot of us are looking forward for leave, holiday. People get upset when they see Diwali falling on a Sunday, New Year falling on a Sunday or a Saturday. People get upset because I lost 1 day holiday, isn't it? So we are not looking forward for work. So this whole topic, science of action, we will be discussing about how important action is in life and how to actually act to be able to be successful and peaceful both. See, in nature, there is no holiday. For example, sun doesn't take 1 day holiday. If sun takes 7 continuous days holiday, there won't be world at all. We say, oh, it's a Sunday, why do you expect me to come to work on a Sunday? But sun doesn't say that. There is no Sunday for Sunday. Sorry, there is no Sunday for sun. So this concept, when do you think came into our head, human beings' head, that we should have 1 or 2 days holiday? When did this whole thing start? Can anybody answer? See, in the jungle, when we all were in jungle, when we were hunters and gatherers, do you think we had a Sunday? Does the tiger or a lion have a Sunday? Sunday concept, holiday concept?
No.
Huh?
No holiday concept.
No.
So when do you think it came into picture? See, initially we were hunters and gatherers. Then slowly, they invented fire. And then, not invented, discovered fire, you can say, accidentally maybe. And then agricultural revolution came up. Once the, human beings were capable of producing grains, agriculture, even for agriculture, there is no Sunday holiday concept. You got to go early in the morning, do certain things before the sun rises and after the sun rises. Then again, you got to probably go and do something in the evening. And that's how people were living. And even on a Sunday, they had to do. They can't say that today is Sunday holiday. This whole thing started the moment they came to industrial revolution. Are you getting it? The moment we came to industrial revolution, the industries need to work 24 hours, the machines need to work 24 hours so that the productivity can be increased. But for that, human beings cannot be working 24 hours. So they said, let's have 3 shifts. And then, we also probably need to give rest to the machinery and human beings. So they said, okay, 8 hours they'll work and Sunday they'll take holiday. Then they said, okay, 2 days holiday. The mind is slowly has gone into 3-day holiday. So what was started for a certain purpose, slowly what has happened is, we are not really enjoying action. We are not really enjoying work. We are looking forward for holidays and vacations, weekends. How to change this mindset? How to understand that work and life go together. They're not separate. So what we need to understand is, the first thing is, we cannot live without action. Action is the insignia of life. Inaction is death. If you do not act, you will perish. Any part of your body, when it stops functioning, when it stops acting, slowly, it loses its capacity, it will die. In fact, a lot of people, after retirement, they start developing memory loss because they're not engaging that part of the brain constantly like they used to do before. So, to have a quality life, we need to be active. Action is the insignia of life. Inaction is death. We say there is tremendous life in Mumbai. There is tremendous life in New York. Why? Because there is tremendous activity. So, firstly, we need to change the idea. We value holiday and vacation today. That is because we are not really having the right technique of action. So as a result, we are all acting wrongly. And as a result, our actions are producing stress. If we only know the real, true technique of action, action cannot produce stress. In fact, you will be enjoying. And when you enjoy action, you'll be looking forward for Monday mornings, not Friday evenings. This is the whole idea. The whole life revolves around action. The more active you are, the more lively you are. There's more life in your life. So if you want to breathe more life into your life, you need to be active, first and foremost. Unfortunately, a lot of us either wish inaction, or we really do not know the technique of action. So we drag ourselves to action, go through stress and strain. We hate action. We get into this kind of a living. So therefore, you observe nature. Water is constantly flowing in the river. There is life there. A fish is living there. You can produce electricity. There is freshness in the water. But in a pool in a pond, the water is stagnant. It's not constantly flowing, it's stagnant. As a result, slowly you will find the water becomes dirty. It gets evaporated. So life becomes extinct there. So if you want your life to have life in it, you need to be constantly acting. There is no choice. But when we say this, we need to understand a little bit more about action. What is the science of action? See, every one of us are nothing but a bundle of desires, thoughts and desires. All of us have thoughts and desires. These thoughts and desires, when they express as action. Now, if I have the thought of painting, which becomes the desire for painting, then I'll actually take the painting brush and paint. That is the action of painting. So where does the action come from? It comes from thoughts and desires. There is therefore nothing wrong in having desires. These desires only manifest as action. But we need to direct these desires. We need to control and direct our thoughts and desires to execute the action in the right way. When we do that, we will be able to combine both peace and prosperity. There will be success and there will be peace and joy while doing the action. Today, because we do not know this technique, we think joy is outside action. But once you learn this technique, then you understand that the joy is actually in the action. You do not want to give up action because it's like giving up joy for you. If anybody comes and asks you, would you like to renounce all your happiness in life? You say, what the hell are you talking about? I'm living only for happiness. You're asking me to give away all my happiness. No way. I want my joy. I want my happiness. So today we have all been conditioned to believe that happiness is outside work, outside action. So primarily this session is to make us understand that actually the happiness or joy is in the garb of action. In other words, happiness and action are synonymous, you can say. But you need to understand how to act, how to direct our desires. Because if you do not know how to direct your desires, desires destroy your life. But if you know how to direct your desires, then it can enhance the quality of your life. Whatever has been, developed in this country, it's all because, not only in this country, in this world, it's all because of desire. You should have desire. It's like fuel, If there's no fuel in your bike or car, how will you move? The engine may be fantastic. The car may be in the good condition, but there's no fuel in it. How will the car run? So therefore, desire is the fuel. But then, having put the fuel in the car, if you do not know how to control the car, you will go and meet with accident. And this is exactly what is happening to all of us. So some people, out of fear of accident, they're not even starting the car, meaning they don't want to act. Some people recklessly they drive themselves in life and then go through stress and strain. So therefore, I'm going to be quoting few verses from the Bhagavad Gita to make you really understand what Gita is talking about with reference to action. There's a very famous shloka in the Bhagavad Gita, verse 47, chapter 2. It's called Karmani eva adhikaraha ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur boho ma te sangostva karmani. You can see it on the screen here. Karmani eva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur boho ma te sangostva karmani. Your right is in action only. What he's saying is, you have a right only with reference to action, never to the fruits. Fruits means results. See, in other words, Taruna and Aditi, they have been coordinating with me to have this session today. In fact, we planned it last week. Because of rains and all that, we thought we'll do it 1 week later. So we're doing it today. So it's a perfect example to understand this concept. We had planned it for 11. I think I can hear somebody talking at the background, so kindly please switch off your microphone. See, we had planned it for the 11th, but the result, whether that session will happen on the 11th or it will be postponed due to certain, reasons like rain, etc., is not in our hands. So therefore, what he's saying is, your right, the choice, what is in your hands is only action. Like, I have prepared certain slides, certain examples and stuff like that, which I would like to communicate to you today. So this is my action. I've come ready with my action plan. But let us say something happens, the connectivity goes, God forbid, then this session cannot happen. So for this action to bring out the result, there are so many factors, out of which some factors I have control, many factors I have no control. This firstly I need to understand. So he says your right is in action only, never to the fruits, never to the result. This has been wrongly interpreted by some people that you should not enjoy the result when it comes. You should only be acting. This is not what he's saying. He's saying you can only prepare, plan, but the actual action happening and producing the result depends on so many factors. It is not in our hands. Therefore, he says your right is in action only, never to the fruits, results. Then he says, let not the fruit of action be your motive. What he's saying is, this is another important line. Let not the fruit of action be your motive. Don't act purely for the result alone. Result comes much later, and it depends on so many factors. You understand? So let not the fruit of action be your motive. My motive, for example, today when I come and talk, should not be tied to the outcome. How many people attended? Out of them, how many people really enjoyed? What is the feedback? I hope everybody gives a good feedback. If my motive is this, I'll be constantly under stress. I hope everybody will give a good feedback. What are they thinking? Are they going to attend today? Are they going to, all these kind of thoughts come. So I don't really enjoy while acting. And then I'll be going through stress, strain while acting and afterwards also. Therefore, he says, while acting, your thoughts should not go to the result. See, please understand this. What you sow today, you reap tomorrow. Isn't it? Today, you sow a particular seed, mango seed. After a few years, the tree will grow up, and then after a few years, it will produce mangoes. So today's seed will become mangoes tomorrow. There is no difference between the two. Today's action becomes the result tomorrow. So while acting, if your attention shifts to the result, will you be able to do the action properly? You won't be able to do the action properly. And if you don't do the action properly, obviously you will not get the result. Therefore, he says, your motive should not be result. You should act because you love doing that action. So in this, all he's teaching us is, choose your profession according to your love. See, I generally love to talk, and then definitely I'd love to talk the philosophy of life, management of life and living. These are my subjects that I really love. And therefore, I've chosen my field of activity to be to communicate this knowledge. So he says, let not the fruit of action be your motive. The result, whether I will be appreciated, where all I will be invited to talk. Will they invite me to talk in Geneva? Will they invite me to talk in New York? if these kind of thoughts are there, my life will be miserable. Not that when they invite me to talk in Geneva, New York, I should say, no, I won't come because I will not be interested in the result. No. If they invite, I'll go. If they don't invite, doesn't matter. But wherever, whoever invites me to talk on this philosophy, on this management, which I love, I go and express myself. So action should be a motive in itself. Do not entertain motive for the result. It's a very beautiful thought which is given in the Gita. Let not the fruit of action be your motive. Because if it is your motive, it depends on so many factors. It's not in our hands at all. Suddenly Corona has come. So I don't know what all will come tomorrow. Therefore, you got to choose the field of activity that you really love and express yourself. So action itself becomes the motive. So I've come here today to talk because they invited me. I talk on the science of action. So I enjoy this 45 minutes with you, and then I move on to my next session, with whomsoever has invited me. So thus, action itself becomes an end in itself. So my whole focus is upon that action. I do it to the best of my ability. As a result, tomorrow, in future, the result also I get as per my interest. So you see so many people appreciating, inviting you to come and talk more. So this will automatically happen, though your motive is not that. That's all he's saying. Let not the fruit of action be your motive. And then third line says, nor let your attachment be to inaction. Procrastinating, postponing. Inaction is only postponing actually. If you don't take the decision at the right time, you will be forced to take that decision or something else with reference to that with a higher price. You will be paying more. You didn't take the decision at the right time. Isn't it? So therefore he says, let not your attachment be to inaction. Inaction means laziness, lethargy, indolent, not wanting to act. See, a file has to move from one table to another. How much time will it take to move? File by itself doesn't move. You got to make it move. But then your mind is so lethargic today, generally in people. Karenge, dekenge, sochenge. And then they keep postponing. The more you postpone, the more you will have to pay for the same action. You know, when there's a simple, small boil or something in your growth in your body, doctor will say, "Arey, better we remove it and do the, necessary tests, and then we'll see if something else needs to be done, otherwise we'll leave it." And if you postpone, later on it could have become cancerous. You will have to pay the heavy price. Maybe you will pay it with your life. Therefore, let not your attachment be to inaction. So, firstly, action is the insignia of life, inaction is death. Your right is only with action, never to the result. And secondly, do not be attached to the result. Thirdly, do not be attached to inaction. These three things we need to understand. Then we can move further. In some other shloka, in the Bhagavad Gita, he explains it even more. He says, Mai sarvani karmani sanyas yadhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigata jvaraha. This is in chapter 3 of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 30. Renouncing all actions in me. Now, this is very interesting. When he says me, what you need to understand is in the higher goal. Why we say me is higher goal? Here, Sri Krishna is talking. When Sri Krishna is talking in the Bhagavad Gita, or Lord Jesus Christ is talking in the Bible, or in the Quran, when it is expressed, it is voice of God that is being expressed. So whichever scripture it may be, when they say me, they mean the God, the divinity. Me is not Mr. Krishna or Mr. Christ. It is not the physical personality. It is the divinity that is talking. And the divinity is in every one of us. Divinity shines in each one of us. Let's understand that. So therefore, divinity is everywhere. It's a larger personality, the big. So therefore, in Sanskrit, the word for God is Brahman. Brahman means Brahat Tamatvat iti Brahma. Which means what? The biggest. Biggest. So it includes everything. So therefore, what he's saying is, renouncing all actions in me means you should work for a larger purpose. Ultimately, it should be for the entire humanity. It should be for the whole world. So, in the relative sense, instead of just working for myself, what is in it for me? You know, I should work for a cause, for a larger purpose. So, renouncing all actions in me means renouncing all your activities for a purpose, for a cause, for a goal. With thoughts resting on the self. With thoughts resting on the self again means the thoughts, your intellect should be focusing on the ultimate goal. And all your actions should be surrendered and directed towards that goal. That's what it means. See, for example, I should pitch up a goal with my intellect. And the goal should be something beyond my selfish, self-centered interest. It could be my family, it could be my country, it could be my organization, it could be humanity, whatever. So, my intellect should pitch up a goal and my mind should surrender to that goal. That's what renouncing all actions in me means. Surrender to that goal means what? I should only do actions which will help me to get to that goal. Any action that will help me to get to that goal becomes my do's. Any action that will take me away from my goal becomes my don't. So do's and don'ts are not determined by the society. You got to pitch up a higher goal, and anything which is good for you to attain that goal becomes do's. Anything that will take you away from that goal becomes your don'ts. So therefore, with the intellect pitch a goal, then the mind must surrender to the goal. If the mind is not surrendered to the goal, then the mind will say, "Yaar, today tell them I can't come to the session. I would like to go for a movie. Let me go and enjoy the movie." Which means what? The mind is not surrendered to the goal. Then I won't do action in that direction. My action will not be given a higher direction. It will be done with selfishness. So, in these two lines, what he's trying to say is, actions are possible to be executed with selfishness, or actions are possible to be executed with unselfishness. So he's saying you need to execute the action with unselfishness. Pitch a higher purpose, goal, then surrender to that goal and act. Free from hope attachment. Hope for the future. Future means result. You should not be attached to the result. And you should not have general attachment to the action itself, especially to the past worries. oh, last time when I did this action, this happened. I didn't get it. All those kind of thoughts your mind should not indulge in while acting. So in this, what we learn is, before plunging into action, you got to plan. He's not saying don't plan. And he says free from hope. Oh, you people should not have result. You should not think of the future. So you should not plan. Some people are interpreting it like that wrongly. That is not what he's saying. Of course, you should plan. But that planning is done before action. But once you've planned and you started the action, during the action, don't think of the result. Similarly, before plunging into action, if there are certain things to be learned from the past, we learn from the past. But while doing the action, we should not allow the mind to go to the past. That's what it means. Free from hope and attachment means while doing the action, the mind should not go to the future or the past. But before the action, before you plunge into action, you need to learn from the past and plan for the future. But having planned, you plunge into action without fever. Fight without fever. See, fight, he says, because Bhagavad Gita is given in the context of the Mahabharata war. So Arjuna's duty there is to fight. So here it means you do your duty, you do your action. Fight also means challenge. So face your challenge without mental fever. Mental fever means today I have to present you the discussion on the topic on science of action. So my mind is, oh, I have to talk to them on science of action. I hope I've prepared well. I hope what will happen? That means I'm having mental fever, jwara, excitement, stress. So what he's teaching is, please understand, you are a spoke in the wheel of life. See, supposing Lakshminarayan says no to MPS. Arey yaar, enough is enough. I've been talking to you fellows for a long time. Now I don't want to talk. Will the MPS stop functioning? What will they do? The HR department will somehow find somebody else to continue these training sessions. So Lakshminarayan is not indispensable. No one is indispensable. You understand? Lakshminarayan will come, Lakshminarayan will go. The MPS training sessions will continue. Life will continue. How many presidents have come and gone? Prime ministers have come and gone in all the countries. Still the country continues. So therefore, we are insignificant. Action is the most significant thing. But unfortunately, our ego, so I develop this ego. I'm the doer. May I become bigger than the action. That's the danger. So I get excited. I got to deliver this. I hope everybody is functioning. Sir, in my company only I am the only one who is acting. Nobody work. Kya kare? This kind of thoughts is fever. Fight without mental fever. Just be a spoke in the wheel of life. Yes, you are important, but you are not everything. Everybody is equally important. Just do it and get out. Bring in the Nike slogan. Just do it. Just do it. Nothing else is important. So therefore, while doing the action, you should neither have the attachment to the result, nor to the past worries, nor to the present excitement. Just do it and get up. So if you follow this, then your actions will be supported with the right attitude. There is no result orientation. There is no egoistic attitude. There is perfect focus while doing the action. And the planning and learning, everything has been taken care of. And your desire has been given a direction. And you are acting in the field which you love. So what happens is, you actually forget yourself. So Here again we learn something. The actual doer, the attitude of doership should die. Then the actual doing will happen. When the doer is dead or the doership is dead, the doing will be perfect. This is what Gita is teaching us. All the scriptures teach us the same thing. In fact, when Christ is crucified, that crucifixion of Christ is also symbolically teaching us this only. Crucify your physical, emotional, limited personality for a larger purpose. Learn from Jesus Christ. You understand? That's what it means. Jesus Christ could have lived his life happily. He crucified his life for our sake. All great masters, they did that. What does it mean? It means too much of thought about me all that time, as if I'm so important. See, what is the age of this earth? And what is our age? How long will we live? So during this time, during this sojourn, whether it is 30 years, 50 years, 100 years we live, we should think of doing something, leaving a mark and going away. Leaving the mark also should not be our motive. If we properly do, we will leave the mark. But that should not be our motive. Therefore, beautifully in the Gita, what he says is, action is the insignia of life, inaction is death. Choose the field of activity which you love and put yourself in it and forget about it. Then, when you constantly function like this, what will happen is, you will be focusing and doing the action, forgetting about all these extra paraphernalia. So you'll enjoy while doing, and it will also bring the result. And you will be physically exhausted because mentally you're not thinking about the result and you're physically acting. You'll be physically exhausted. When you're physically exhausted, automatically you'll be sliding into sleep at night without any problem. Like children. Children have no worries of the past, anxieties of future. They just function and then they sleep off. So we have lost that ability now. Nowadays, biggest problem every one of us facing is sleep. Firstly, we cannot fall off to sleep. Even if we fall off to sleep, we cannot sleep for 7-8 hours. So what has happened? Because we have lost, we do not know the technique of right action. When we learn this technique of right action and function, then we will be able to achieve both success and peace. We'll be prosperous, we'll be growing materially, and internally also we'll be stress-free. That's all he's saying. So, if you really are happy, in those happy moments, you will not be there. In the sense, the ego would have been destroyed. Suddenly you will say, oh, half an hour passed, 40 minutes passed, 1 hour passed. I can't believe that. Why? Because you had forgotten about yourself. So the way to success is self-forgetfulness. All the time thinking about me, what will I get, what will I get? Start thinking about what I can give, how I can serve, larger cause. Put yourself in it, then forget about it. Forget about it in the sense, you will definitely get the results. It is impossible that you will not get the results. But if you function this way, if you are thinking about the results while acting, you won't execute the action properly. As a result, you will not get the result at all. So your thoughts itself becomes a hindrance. So therefore, you need to learn this and then function. So pitch a goal and surrender to that goal and plunge in the action. In other words, intellect should pitch a goal, mind should surrender to the goal, and body should act, taking care of all these facts. When you do like this, automatically your life will be successful and peaceful. So in life, you should have this as your motive. Not motive, motto, sorry. Your motto in life should be what? To strive, To struggle, not to succeed. Not to succeed does not mean you don't want to succeed. Not to succeed means I don't care about success. I don't care about success also doesn't mean you become, what do you call, oblivious to success. Of course, you are concerned about success, but you are not acting only for success. You want to act in life for the very purpose of action itself, not for anything else. Action itself becomes an end. It's not just a means to achieve something. So to strive means you're ready to work, and struggle. Struggle also is a word, which means putting yourself in the challenge, amidst the challenge. That's what it means. Struggle doesn't mean, oh, life will be struggling. To strive, to execute your actions, being in the struggle of challenge, and not really bothered about success, only focusing in the present action. The process is important. You see, Dhoni always talks about the process. Always talks about the process. That's why he was able to be he's still a great leader. Because what is important is the process. Automatically the success will come if the process is properly taken care of. So to strive, to struggle, and not to succeed should be your motto in life. Then, while striving and struggling, you will be enjoying. So it won't be a struggle at all. It won't be a big effort at all. You know, day before yesterday, Wimbledon happened, finals happened, men's final. Alcaraz versus Djokovic. More than 4 hours they played. Little short of the record, Wimbledon record, I'm told. It's 10 minutes less than Wimbledon recorders. 4 hours, little more than 4 hours they played. But they must have been in the zone fully for 4 hours. Even people who are watching, they forget about many things. Then what about people who are involved in the game, or actually playing? So that's what life is all about. The moment ego comes in, the doership comes in, it destroys the whole thing. The poison is me, I, myself. These are the words which are real poison. The selfishness. To take away that selfishness and function, life takes care of you like anything. In fact, in some other session, I'll talk about this law, which is called attach you lose, detach you gain. You know, it's the truth. If you really understand that law, you will not be attached to anything. And when you're detached, you'll be blessed with everything. How it is, people don't understand. But that's the truth. Jesus Christ also says, he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. He that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. So, to be able to be successful in life, we got to learn to become a loser. The problem is, we all want to be a winner. See, please understand correctly what I'm saying. Otherwise, you'll quote me wrongly. This fellow is asking us to be a loser. What kind of a fellow is he? He himself is a loser. Not in that sense. See, you got to lose your selfishness. You got to lose your pettiness. Understand? Petty-mindedness. See, for example, if somebody is visiting your house, after so many years they're visiting you, you had lunch together and everything, they're living in an apartment complex, 10th floor or 12th floor you're living. And when they say bye and they're leaving, their car is parked in the parking lot. Ideally, what you should do is go down with them, see them off at the parking lot. Dil bada hona chahiye. You understand? Otherwise, you just say bye from your house. What will you lose you're so busy or something, it's a different thing. Just go there, say bye to them. Similarly, if you're dropping somebody, unless you're really busy or something, go and drop them at their gate. You don't have to drop them 100 meters away and say, okay, now you walk. So the moment you think like this, just expand your mind and put yourself in the struggle of action. Then you see how success follows you. You don't have to follow success. Success will follow you. So this is the true science of action, the technique of action. If you learn this, you'll be both peaceful and prosperous. So with this, we can conclude. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Now we are open for the question and answer round session. So do you have any query? Please speak up.
So I just have a small thought to share. It's not a question as such. So in the beginning of the session, we were talking about humans wanting holidays or wanting vacation. So my personal belief is that the purpose of seeking those holidays or vacation is to have some variety or versatility in our lives. It's probably not every time because of inaction. So human beings, being wise and intelligent, they're always behind achieving different levels of satisfaction or exploring different things. So that could be one perspective, probably. But I just felt a slight difference in opinion at that point.
I don't think so. You are contradicting me at all. If you understood me correctly, I said when the Industrial Revolution came, the concept of holiday came in. See, that is needed. If the body is acting for 8 hours, 9 hours, you have to give it rest. That is okay. But that where we have gone to is as if work itself is giving me stress. I can only be happy when I take vacation. No, that is wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Agree.
I'm not saying don't take leave. In fact, I myself right now I'm in Chennai. Last 3 months I was in Chennai. From Chennai I'm doing online session. But I'm coming back to Delhi tomorrow. So I have to do some work here, some important work to be attended in my personal property. So I have to be here for 3 months. But because technology is there, I'm doing my work from here. So all we are saying is if you have to go to the bank, obviously if you keep one day for yourself to do the bank work, that day you have to go. I'm not saying become a workaholic. That is not what we are discussing. But the thought, oh my God, it's Friday, thank you. Not like that.
I agree.
Work. That's all I said.
Yeah. At the same time, we could also be looking forward to other types of activities which give us pleasure and satisfaction. Like somebody could be interested in sport.
Only in MPS. Action means what you do with your family. See, in fact,
yes, absolutely.
Many of us are not active throughout the day. Morning, you go for 1 hour walk and come, and that's it. Throughout the day, sitting and watching the phone. That is useless. Throughout the day, you got to be active.
Absolutely. Agree. Thank you so much for the wonderful session.
Thank you.
Very insightful. Thank you.
Does anyone have any question? Okay. Thank you, Swamiji, for sharing your wisdom and insightful session with us. We are looking forward to have more such sessions in future. Dear MPS employees, thank you all for your active participation. We will be sharing the details of next session in days to come. Have a good day. Thank you.